Welcome into another episode of Power 4 Picks brought to you by Better and Green. We once again have another bowl game. This is the Bucked Up LA Bowl between Boise State and Washington. We're covering every single bowl game, no matter how ugly. Fortunately, this is a pretty solid game, but we do cover some ugly ones. And there are a couple videos already on our page over here on YouTube of some bowl previews in some ugly games. So if you are interested in every single bowl game, please give us a subscription. We're covering them all. Again, no matter how ugly, we're covering the playoffs, we're covering it all in really quick, 5 to 7 minute breakdown videos. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Really good matchup here. Boise State 9-4, Washington 8-4. Washington is up to a 10-point favorite. Over under is 52.5. This line opened at 8.5, so we're already seeing a 1.5 in line movement. Again, we are into bowl season with these big name teams, which means opt-outs are always going to be an issue. And again, please do your own research on these opt-outs. Every single site has different sources and different guys they have think are going to opt out. So just do your own research. From what I'm seeing, it seems like everyone's going to be playing. There are some potential opt-outs. The big name is Coleman, the Washington running back. Looks like he's probably going to play, but again, who freaking knows until kickoff. If he is out, I still think Washington is going to be fine. They do have a solid backup running back who actually has more broken tackles than Coleman, who is known for breaking tackles. So I think Washington's in a good spot, but please do your own research on bowl opt-outs. It's so hard to track. We try to do our best, but again, every site has different information. But Ethan, welcome. How are you feeling, and who do you got for the Bucked Up LA Bowl?
Yeah, before I get into this game here, just want to quick make mention. We are donating $1 to St. Jude for every subscription we get from now until the new year. So it's the best time that you could subscribe to our channel. So really appreciate it. If you guys are interested in our work that we put out, hit that subscribe button. And again, we donate $1 to St. Jude for every subscription. So we really do appreciate that, guys. But for this game, I actually like it quite a bit. I know there's two other games that I've played so far on Saturday that we've broken down. This is probably my favorite play of the three. And I like Washington in this game, minus the 10, 9.5 if you can get it. But basically, I think public will line up on Boise State come kickoff in this game here. They're going to see a Boise State team who has the one more win than what Washington has, a Boise State team that made the college football playoff last year. Obviously, they've been a way different team this year without Genty and some of the other pieces on that team. But and now they're seeing that they're catching, double digits with Boise State. I think it's going to be a very attractive option. I think Washington is the play, though, in this one. I'll stick with Boise State here for just a minute. Their season was kind of blown up early. That just embarrassing loss to South Florida, which turns out South Florida was a good team all season long. But, they were trying to go back-to-back college football playoff, and we're behind the eight ball from week one, or that might have even been week 0 for Boise State there. Ended up losing to Notre Dame, Fresno State, San Diego State. Interesting fact about Boise State, in their 4 losses this year, all 4, they only scored 7 points exactly. So, maybe they put up only 7 here against Washington to follow that trend. They did finish on a 3-game winning streak to get themselves to a, pretty good 9-4 record here, but I just don't know if the motivation is fully there for the guys that were on the team last year. They were obviously getting ready for a much bigger game, and I just don't know really what the motivation is for Boise State. You look at Washington, this team has been sneakily good in a really good Big Ten conference. Their strength of schedule much better than what Boise State's was. Their only losses, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon. You can't knock them for any of those. They did have a bad loss to Wisconsin, but that was on the road. We've seen in the new Big Ten where the East teams struggle going to California. The California teams struggle going over, to Wisconsin, Michigan, Rutgers, some of those other schools. So, I'm not going to knock them too bad for that. This one is in LA, so at SoFi Stadium, pretty close to both Boise State and Washington, but not far travel for Washington. I think they're just ultimately way better than Boise State. I think they have maybe a little more to play for, tougher strength of schedule. I can't really knock them for any of their losses. I like Washington in this game, kind of to rout Boise State. So that's the way I'm looking. Probably my favorite play on Saturday's college football card.
I have a quote here from a guy that is a paid analysis of football, and I love seeing where the public's going to line up and the public's thought. And it's just crazy that this is this guy's reasoning for this game and for this bet. He has this game finishing 28-24, Washington winning, but obviously not covering the 10 points here. Here's his quote. And this ultimately determined my bet 100%. Again, this is from Chris Murray at Nevada Sports Net, a paid analysis of college football. You think you maybe wouldn't be so square, but here's the quote here. It might be a little long. Boise State just beat just 2 FBS teams with winning records. That is New Mexico and UNLV. But Washington did so just once against Illinois. They had one common foe, that being Colorado State, which Boise State beat by 28 points this season and was topped. And Washington topped them by 17 in the opener, well before Jay Norwell over at Colorado State was fired. So his reasoning is Boise State has two wins against winning record FBS teams, whereas Washington only has one. They have a common foe, and he thinks that because it was the opener against a coach that I guess was fired, that is less impressive than a final game of the season for Boise State, who beat them by more points. And that's his reasoning. And that right there is just the stupidest reasoning you could even imagine. So simply from that reasoning, I got to take Washington here. I think a lot of the public's going to line up on Boise. Like you said, Ethan, Boise, obviously the big name recently. I know Washington made it to the national championship game 2 years ago, but that was also with a different coach with a whole different team. But just a terrible, terrible, terrible reasoning. Everyone has the ability to go on the ESPN app, press the back button, press the schedules, see these common foes, and that means absolutely nothing. If that was the case, and this spread should be, Boise State on the favorite here because they beat a team that Washington played by 11 more points. They have one more win against a winning FBS team. New Mexico and UNLV are not even close to the same caliber as Illinois. Playing a game in your opener is you're a completely different team than the end of the year. Like, just talk about Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is going to be the better team against Miami and Texas A&M, but they play them week 1 and week 2. You are a different team at the beginning of the year than you are at the end of the year. And at the end of the year, you're probably going to be better unless your coach is fired, like Colorado State's was, but he still thinks that means Colorado State was better. So just a terrible reasoning. Again, this is Chris Murray. I am giving him props from Nevada Sports Net. If you want to give him any information, go ahead and comment that he's an idiot. But simply that reasoning, terrible reasoning to be taking Boise in this game. I like Washington as well with you, Ethan, to roll in this game. I'll take them with the -9.5, -10, wherever you can find it. I think this is going to be easily a double-digit Washington win in this game. Do you have anything to add on that before we sign off for the Bucked Up LA Bowl?
Yeah, would the 5-win Florida State team be favored against the College Football Playoff Alabama? Is that how that works now?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Okay, good to know. All right, thanks, Chris. If that was your name, no, I can't even remember. But no, that's it for me. Looking forward to this game. Think Washington's the side, and that reasoning that you gave right there makes me like it even more. So, go Huskies.
Go Huskies. And ultimately, Big Ten against Mountain West. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? But again, we are covering every single bowl game, so make sure you guys do tune into our channel over here. We're trying to give you quick, in-depth predictions of these games that some people might not have good opinions on or just aren't covering. So we're trying to cover it all for you guys if you are interested in bowl season. We cover it all over here at Better and Green, not just college football, NFL, college basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, MMA, UFC. We cover it all. So if you are interested, give us a like, a comment, and a subscription over on our YouTube. It greatly helps us continue to do this. But we have a couple more bowl games next week, early in the week. I believe the next one's on Tuesday that we're going to be breaking down. So again, make sure you do stay tuned. And until then, guys, we'll see you in our next bowl game breakdown. Later, guys.
Welcome to Better and Green, to Better and Green, to Better and Green, listen in and cash out, that's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spot from the bottom to the top. Hey, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast, Better and Green.